Hello all. In today's video, let's discuss about the reject. Okay. Now, as soon as I said the reject, the very first question which strikes in your mind is, why do I need to learn this? Because I already do have the AI tool. From there I can get the answer. Then what's the purpose of learning this? You are absolutely right. You can get the answer from the AI tool. But this is not the same case during the interview process. Okay, they don't really ask you to use the AI tools and then get the answer. They want you to do it on your own. Okay, the purpose of making this video is for the interview purpose. Okay, whatever the questions which I'm going to mention here on average basis, they're gonna use this core concept system. Okay, through this they're gonna ask you the question. Okay, even if they have given some complex, they already know, okay, for this kind of scenarios we have to use the AI tool. Okay, but normal basic things they don't really ask you to use some kind of AI tool. Okay, this is the first purpose. And the second purpose is, there are certain people who want to know how the reject will work. Okay, even for them I'm going to explain from the basic. Okay, I'm going to explain to them in a very simplified manner. Okay, now coming to the next question, where this reject is used. Okay, now just assume I have taken a some random text. Okay, now from this text there are certain mail IDs. I want to get the mail ID. Okay, now with the help of reject we can get the mail ID. Okay, now second scenario is we can use this reject even for the validations like password validation. In the password validation we're going to have certain things like there should be one uppercase, one lowercase, or else characters must and should be in between 8 to 20 characters. Okay, there will be certain rules. Okay, even such kind of validations can be done. Okay, now coming to the one reject related definition again. Now with the help of reject we can get we can get we can get the string which has some specific pattern. Okay, and or else we can as well use this for the validation. Okay, before I start the real coding, first of all let me show you one coding example. Okay, now to use the reject we have to use this module, we have to import this, and just assume I have added some random text. Now from this random text I have to get only these, whatever the text which is present inside this bracket I want to get that. Okay, now for that we have to use something like this. First of all we have to add the pattern. Don't worry about this pattern, I will explain you. Okay, and for that we have to use this find all, and inside this find all we are going to pass whatever the pattern which we have used and as well as the text. Now at the end we will get the answer. See, from this text we are only getting the things which are inside the bracket. Now, before we start the coding, first let's read this. It's okay if you don't understand it, but for now, just keep these things in your mind. Okay, when we are coding directly, at the time you will understand these very clearly. Okay, now cap symbol in the sense start word has to be matched. Okay, cap in the sense start word has to be matched. Next, dollar symbol in the sense end word has to be matched. Okay, now whatever the thing which is present inside this square bracket, this cap in the sense nothing but it acts like a not sign. Okay, in our coding we do have a not sign, right? It acts something like that. Okay, now coming to this is like minimum and maximum, means minimum 2, maximum 5. Okay, now coming to this a to Z. Now this is something like any a to in between small a to small z. You can as well add capital A to capital Z, or else you can add 0 to 9. Okay. Now coming to these brackets in this sense, it's a grouping. And coming to this, if you want to add some kind of condition, uh, for in that scenarios, you can add something like this. Okay. Now coming to this question mark, this is kind of an optional. Okay. Now over here we do have inside these brackets we're going to add something, and after that if we add some kind of star symbol, it is kind of multiplying that whatever the thing which is present inside this bracket. Okay, once again I'm saying, don't at all worry that you haven't understood this. Okay, for now you keep these things in your mind. When we are directly coding, at the time you will understand what's the purpose of each and every symbol. Okay, now let's start the coding. Now I have added a text over here. Okay, now what I want to do is that I want to check whether this string starts with a term called God or not. Okay, now I'm adding a pattern. Now to check that what whether the string is starting with a specific term or not. For that, what we have to use is you have to use the cap symbol. Okay, after that you can write, okay, something like this. Okay, the meaning of this is that this text is getting started with the God or not. Now with that, now as I have said earlier, inside this find all we have to pass the pattern. Along with the pattern you have to pass the text. Now let's add. Now let's run this. Now as this text is starting with the God, that's why we are able to see some information. Now let me remove this. Now it's not starting with the God at all. Okay, now let me run. See, now it's not displaying anything. Okay, now I want to check whether that thing is ending with all or not. So for that, what I'm going to add, I'm going to add a dollar sign. The same thing what I have mentioned at the top, that's what I'm going to use. Okay, now I want to check whether the string is getting ended with all or not. Okay, now let me run. Yes, as this string has all, that's why it is displaying. Now let me remove this all. See, now it is not displaying anything because at the end it is not ending with the all. Now another scenario. Now this is our new text. Now if you know, in certain countries they'll be using a text called color like COLOR, but in some other countries COLOUR. So both are right, but in some countries they will ignore you, in some countries they will add you. So now how we can handle this kind of optional scenario? Now for that we have to add pattern something like this. Now over here our U is optional. Okay, now rest of the code is same. Inside this you have to pass the pattern. From next time onwards I won't be adding this because this is the this line is common for all. So for now I'm adding. Okay, now I have made U as the optional. Now let me run this. Okay, now we got the color. Now let me remove U from this. Let me rerun this. See, once again we are getting. Okay, now let me add completely wrong one. Okay, see, it's not displaying anything. Now let me take another scenario. Now this is another text. Now from this I want to get this last name. Okay, now let's see how we can get that. Now what I want this last name. So as I need to add this. Okay, now after this whatever it comes that I want to get, like for example I'm going to add something like A to Z or A to Z. The meaning of this is it can be any character which is in between A to Z. That means any small character or else any capital character. Over here I'm adding plus. Plus in the sense till end. That means till here last, whatever, till here, till the last. Plus in the sense nothing but till the last. Okay, this is the pattern. Now rest will be the same. Now let me run this. See, I'm getting the last name. Now for example, if you want only the name, you don't want this title. Now what you can do, earlier we have read about the grouping one. That's what we're going to use. Now what you have to do, I want only this case. So right now what I have said, anything small a to small z or else anything small a to capital Z till the last. Only this part I have to group. Add the bracket. That's it. Okay. Now in here we have completed the basic thing. Now let's go with advanced. Okay. Now this is my new text. In this new text I have added mail ID. Different kinds of mail IDs I have added. Okay. Every mail ID has its own format. Now how we can get all these mail IDs? Okay. Now let me add the pattern for it. Now first let's see what our first mail ID consists of. It consists of what? The alphabet. It has a dot and there is some underscore and there is some once again there is some alphabets and as well as numbers. And even if you see and first let's handle this part. First let's handle only this part. Okay, that means let's handle only this first part. Okay, now for that what I have said, it consists of alphabet small a to small z. Anything it can occur. And at times we are as well coming across numbers as well. So that means we have to add 0 to 9 as well. Okay, and at times we do have certain symbols like underscore or else dot. Okay, now let's add even that underscore dot. Now there are certain specific symbols which can be used for different purposes as well. Like for example, if you see this plus sign over here, okay. Now let me add that. Now if you want to use the plus sign, you just assume there is a string which has a plus sign. Now you can't use the plus sign directly because in the Regex plus in the sense it consists of some special meaning. So you can't use it directly. So for that, what you have to use, if you want to use the plus sign, you have to add this slash. In the same way, right now the dot in the Regex it has some special meaning. So we can't use the dot directly. So for that purpose, what we have to do is we have to use the slash symbol. Okay. Now right now I have covered all the scenarios like it consists of A to Z, it consists of dot, it consists of numbers, it consists of underscore. All the things are completed. Now you have to add plus. Plus in the sense till last. Okay. Now till what last? So even I'm going to add at the rate. Okay. Till at the rate we have covered. Now once again, till now we have covered the pattern match before the till at the rate. Now we have to cover after at the rate. Like this whole part, we have to add the pattern for it. Now let's see how is the pattern for after the at the rate. Now this is a normal alphabet. Okay, this is as well normal alphabet. This is as well normal alphabet. But coming to here, it has some dash. Okay, so we have to handle the dash, and this is as a normal alphabet. Okay, now let me add that. So now first of all, let me add normal alphabet related A to Z, and as well as at times we are as well having this kind of symbol. So even for this symbol, see over here we do have dash, right? This and dash are similar, so we can't use directly. So what we have to use? This. I hope you have guessed it. Okay, in this way we have to use. Now till end. Okay, till which end? Till this dot, or else till this dot we have to go. So let me add. So right now we have even covered this part as well. We have covered this whole part. Now let's see this dot com, dot in. Now let's handle that. Now for that, those are as well alphabets. So for that, let me add A to Z. Now at times what we are getting? At times we are getting 3. At times we are getting 2. So what we have to do? We have to add minimum and max. So minimum it has to be 2, maximum it has to be 3. Okay. Now this is the whole pattern. Now let me rest of the things, let me copy paste. See. Now we have got all the mail IDs. Okay. Yes. Now as you came till this much in this video, I believe you would have learned something. If you have learned anything, please like and subscribe my channel. Now let's go to the another scenario. Now let's go to another scenario. Now in this scenario, let's validate the date. Once again, I'm saying you only like and subscribe if you learned anything. Okay. Now let's see this part. Now let's understand what is date format. Over here, there are certain conditions. Date must and should be in between 01 to 31. Okay. Now month should be in between 01 to 12, and year must and should be in between 1990 to 2076. Now let's see how we can handle this. Now just assume this is our date. Okay. Okay, this is the whole date. Now forget about this whole part. This whole part we shall handle later. For now, let's handle only this part. That means only this first condition let's handle. That means it has to be in between 01 to 31. So for that, it will be something like this: 01, 02, 03, 09, or else 10, 11, 12, 19, so on. It will be something like this. And there will be 30, 31, and 32. Okay, now first of all, let's handle this. Now let me add the pattern. Now in this pattern, first we have handled this part. Okay, this zero part, not this. Okay, once again, right now we are handling only the zero part. Zero part in the sense this first part. Okay, now once again, to be much more clear, right now we are handling only this number. Okay, now here what are the numbers will come? Okay, 0 will come, 1 will come, 2 will come, and 3 will come, right? Over here, what are the options? 11 can come, that means 1. Okay, now let me add that. So it can be in between 0 to 3. Okay, right? over here we can add either 0, 08 or else 18 or else 28. So if you see, the first number is in between 1 to 3 itself. Okay, now over here I'm not adding 3, I'm adding only till 2. I will explain you why I'm adding only till 2. Okay, now let me add 12. Okay, now I have added 0 to 2. Now let's add this right side number. Okay, it can be of 0 to 9, anything, any number can come. Okay, now I have added 0 to 2 and as well as 0 to 9, but we haven't handled this scenario. We have handled only this scenario, because if I add 0 to 2, I can add 0 to 9. Okay, first second number can be till 9, but over here second number is only till 2. That's why we are not handling it. Now what I'm adding, I'm adding or. If first number is 3, if the first number is 3, then it comes to here 0 to 2, right? We cannot add till 9, right? Because there is no 39 date, right? So it has to be only 0 to 2. Okay, I hope you are getting what am I saying. Okay, now right now we have completed the first part. Okay, we have handled both this scenario and as well as this scenario. First scenario is belongs to this part and the second scenario is belongs to this part. Okay, now let's prove it. Now how the date will be, after that there will be a dash, add dash. So now over here I have added dash manually, like I haven't added any slash. The reason is you have to add slash if something, like for example A to Z, where you gonna add, you're gonna add inside the brackets, right? So over here we are not adding inside the bracket, that's okay. But other scenarios, yeah, for must and should you have to add the slash. But as we are not adding dash inside the bracket, so that's why I'm not adding this slash. No need of to add this. Okay, now let's go to this pattern like this. Okay, now once again, what will be the month? Now how we can add the month? We can add month something like this: 01, 02, 03, so on till 09. And another another scenario like 10, 11, 12. So in this way we can add month. So first let me handle this first scenario. Now first, if you see, 0 is common for all this. So let me add 0 directly. Now over here next number can be anything. It can be in between 0 to, it can be 1 to 9. Okay, now let's handle the second part. Second part is this. The first number is constant, that is 1. So let me add 1. And the second is, it should be in between 0 to 2. It should not go to 13, 14, right? So that's why 0 to 2. Okay, now let's come to the third part. It should be in between 1992 2073. So over here if you see, first three numbers are common. This is the common, but rest will be, it can change. It can be 0 to 9. Okay, so we have handled the first part. Now let's handle the another one. Now coming to the this part. Now if you see, 20 will be common, so for that let's add 20. Okay, what I have done, I have added 20 at as 20 will be common. Now coming to the third number, this third number can be in between 0 to 7. Okay, now let's not handle the 7 because 7 has some other scenario. So let's handle 0 to 6. So for that, let me add 0 to 6. Okay, now we have covered this whole scenario. You can add 2001, 2022, 2032, 2065. Okay, you can add any year. Okay, now let's handle this 2007, 2070, 2071, all these scenarios. So for that, let's add, or now as 207 will be the common, so let me add this. So 207 from where to where? From 0 to 6. So let me add from 0 to 6. Now this is our whole pattern. Now rest of the things is same. So let me copy and copy paste. Now let me run this. See, I'm getting the date. Now just assume if I try to add some beyond this number. Let's see what will happen. See, it's becoming empty. Now let's try to add. Okay, now let's try to add beyond 30, 32, beyond 31, right? Over here actually it should be till 31, right? So I have to add 31. Okay, now I have added. Now let me run this. Now it has to throw an error, but if you add 31, it will come. Okay, now let me take one more scenario. Now in this scenario we have to check the file file path related. Now for that, let's add the pattern. Now R. Now first of all, let's see this. Let's see this part alone. Now what is this? It is a capital letter and it has some column. So for that, what we have to do? Just add capital A to capital Z. It can be anything, and then you can add this symbol, right? So right now we are covering this part. Now let's go to this part. Okay, what we do have next? We do have the slash. So let's add slash over here. Okay, now in reject, slash has some special meaning. What I have said earlier, if we do have some special meaning, before that we have to add the slash. Now slash itself has a special meaning. So for that, what we are doing, we are adding another slash. Okay, now what next? We do have alphabet. So let's add that A to Z. Okay, and small a to Z, right? Now if you see, so if you see here, we do have lots many folders here, like folder 1, folder 2, folder 3. So you cannot add pattern for all, right? So you have to add a common pattern. By that, even if you do have 100 folders, still it has to fetch this, the whole part. So for that, what we have to do is, right now we are going to add a common code for all. Even if you do have 100 folders, still that will be here itself. I will show you. After writing the code, I will explain it. By that, it will be much clear for you. So if you see the second folder, we do have numbers as well. So let me add 0 to 9, and as well as we do have some characters like underscore. So let me add that as well. So till last, I have said, right? So plus in the sense it will go till last. Till which last? Till this slash it has to go. So let's add. the slash. Okay. Now, as we do have n number of folders, if you remember during the initial stage, I have told you one thing. Okay, maybe I would have not added that part. Yeah, yeah, I have added over here. Like star, star in the sense as many means as many as present. That means multiple. Whatever the thing which you add, if we add star over here, that means as many things you can add. Okay, now let's see that. So for that, first of all, you have to cover this thing in a bracket. Okay, then you have to add the star. Now what we did is like, okay, we have covered this whole part. That means from here to here, as many you can add like this pattern, 100, 100. Then for that we have added this star. I hope you are getting, right? I hope you are getting. Okay, now we have covered till here. Till here we have covered. Now let's see our next part. Now what is our next part? Our next part is this A to Z, and after Z we have to add plus symbol as it is going till, where it is going till dot, right? So let's add dot. Okay, now after this we're gonna have some, see, this file extension can be at times 2 letters, 3 letters, 4 letters. So for that, let's add small a to z, but it can be of, for now I'm adding 2 to 3. Okay, now this is the whole pattern. So now let me group this whole. Okay, now this is our whole pattern. Now let me copy paste code. Now you can add as many folders as possible. You can add as many folders as possible. Since we will be able to get the file path as well. Now we have reached our last concept, that is password validation. Now in the password validation, we're going to have certain things like it must and should have one uppercase, one lowercase, one digit, one special character, and then must and should lie in between 8 to 20. Okay, right now I have added some random password. Now let me add pattern for this. Okay, now earlier if you remember, I have said we have to use one thing for the condition. So for the condition we have to use this. Let's use that format. This is our condition format. Over here, first let's cover this. So it has to be at least one uppercase. So let's add one A to Z. That means the meaning of this is it should consist of one uppercase. Now let's add once again one more condition. We are adding one more condition, right? It must should consist of one lowercase. Now the same thing. Let's add the same format like this. But what right now? One lowercase. Lowercase in the sense A to Z. Once again, we're going to add one more condition. That means one digit must should be present. So let's add the condition again. Okay. Now let's add 0 to 9. Okay. Now there should be one special character. Special character. So this is another condition. So let's add another format. I hope you are getting. Whenever if you want to add any condition, we are going to add something like this. Okay, afterwards you can add something. Okay, this is the format which we are following over here. This is one condition, this is second condition, this is third condition. Now we are adding the special character condition. Special character condition means now we're going to add cap. Inside the bracket, cap in this is nothing but not sign. Now we are going to add W. The meaning of slash W in the sense any alphabetical character. Now what right now I am saying, it should not be alphanumeric character. So that means the meaning of this is it should be any of the special character. And I don't want spaces. So let me add that as well. I don't want spaces, and as well as that should be of special character. So that means it can be what at the rate, dollar sign, dash, anything. Okay. Now in overall the whole password, I don't want to have any password. Sorry, any spaces. So for that, let me add this. Okay. Now what I have said earlier, it should be in between 8 to 10. So minimum is 8, maximum is 20. If you see even this, I have mentioned at the top that minimum and maximum. Okay. See, now this is the whole format. Now over here we have to add one more thing like cap and as well as dollar symbol. Cap symbol is meaning is start, dollar meaning is end. So the whole condition should be in between this itself. Whatever the condition which we have added, that should be from the start to end. So that's the reason why we have added this. Now let me copy this of the code. Now let me remove special character. It's not coming. Now let me add. Now let me remove one capital character and let me add a small character itself. Now, so even it is checking uppercase all these things. Okay. I hope you have learned something from this video. In case if you have learned anything from this video, please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you for taking your time and watching this video.